What's up, you guys? This is Rob from The Guy Plays, and today on Dress to Kill, we are going to be talking about all of my favorite primed accessories. Now, this discussion definitely came up mainly because of the fact that I saw in a lot of the comments, everybody was talking about things getting unvaulted, what's going to be the next armor that comes out, or is it going to be a Syandanas? And there's a lot of people that were like, oh no, I missed that, or I missed X, Y, and Z. So I kind of wanted to do this as almost a little bit of a PSA to like remind you guys of some of the great primed Syandanas and accessories that are currently out there. Well, not currently out there, but could potentially be available to be unvaulted. That's so eloquent, so eloquent. So I wanted to start off with something you're probably not going to be seeing for a while because we just had this revaulted, but it's the Misa Prime Syandanas. So again, these are my favorites. I'm not going to mention some of the ones that I just feel like are like wet floppy dicks, but as you can see here, this actually follows one of the things that I think DE does well, is they do a lot of chain link things very well, and you'll notice that in some of my Syandanas selections that I'm like, ooh, that was a really freaking great Syandanas. This one, for me personally, was a little bit over the top. However, because of the fact that the physics is on point with this, it's kind of like one of those things is if you have like a more plain frame, like let's say if you're playing with like original Mag Prime, or maybe you're not doing anything crazy with your armors, this is a great statement piece that is like blam in your face. You're just gonna have to wait around a little bit longer for this one. So the next one you're not gonna be seeing for quite a while, but is definitely on my list to like watch out for, is the Pyra Prime Syandanas. This thing just always makes me happy. I feel like it goes amazingly. Here's the thing. I never feel like I need this nor want this until I really like have a frame that wants to go dark and like into the depths of the deep dark hell, and that's kind of like what I feel with this. Is when they released Oberon Prime, I was like, oh my god, he looks like a Minotaur chest piece and Dark Knight thing. I'm like super into it. So this is kind of like one of the great statement pieces for him that I think is out there. Now, that's the big thing, is this is definitely a statement piece, and I feel like a lot of the Prime Syandanas are like these overwhelmingly large statement pieces. However, when they're done well like this, and I always have said, I've said it a gazillion, billion, cajillion times over, DE just needs to make a Prime Syandanas that is not necessarily drapey and big and falling all over the place, because sometimes their physics don't do all that well. However, in this case, it's very much a back attachment with energy effects, and I think it looks fantastic. It's still drapey, and it still definitely makes a statement, but it doesn't have like weird physics attached to it, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. It almost from the front makes you look a little bit butterfly-ish, or it almost makes you look like you've emerged from a fiery rift or something like that. It's definitely something to keep an eye out for. It won't be back for a while, but when you see it, go grab it. I'm putting this like seed in your brain. I'm planting seeds in you. It's terrible. Alright, so next on my list of must-haves is the Uru Prime Syandanas. Oh. Let me just tell you, it has been, you guys know me, it has been a long time since I have like cheered so hard for like a DE Syandanas, but this one was magical. Like, number one, it came out with Necros Prime, so it looked like a little bit of a centipede, so it really definitely went with his kind of like theme. I was like, ooh, he's like all evil and dead bodies, and centipedes don't really crawl out of dead bodies, but you know, the visual is there. So it kind of works with that whole chain link thing that I was talking earlier about with the Misas, that I really do think that they do well with chain link things and chain link movements. So this definitely fits into play. I love the energy effect that streaks from the, I know I'm not pointing here, but from the top of the Syandanas down to the bottom of the Syandanas, then that big energy piece. It's kind of like the rock version of the Misa Prime Syandanas, and I really do love it. And I'm crossing my fingers for you guys that for those of you who did miss out on this Syandanas, that you'll be able to pick it up in a future unvaulting, because I do think it's one of the more gorgeous pieces that we've got. Okay, so we have now moved on to the Saggy Titty Syandanas. I know somebody mentioned that to me and I could never not see it ever again. However, for those of you who can get past that, I do have to say that I really am a fan of the Syandanas. It's not something that I would necessarily wear, but I know that there's a good amount of people in the community that love that big statement Syandanas, and I think that this is probably one of the best that they've done. I love the energy effects, the gradiating energy effects, those little pulses that kind of go around those areas, the the areola, as we could say. All of those pulsing energies, I just think it looks absolutely amazing. I do like some of the texture work on it. Like, I like all of this lining, but if that lining is a bit much for you, you can actually go in and kind of like match it up so that it's not super in your face. You can kind of like take it down a notch and just let the textures of the Syandana, because you can actually see there's texture there on the Syandana. Sometimes when you have texture on top of like pattern and different colors, it can be a little too much. So actually balancing it out makes it a little bit easier on the eyes, especially if you're running a frame as visually complex as Banshee, because this did come out with Banshee Prime. Now I don't think this will be, I feel like because it just came out, it literally just came out, so that I don't think this is going to be one of those things that got unvaulted, but it's definitely something that I think will capture a lot of people's attention, especially because of the fact that it looks like there's a mini bat on her back. Do you notice that? It looks like a little golden mini bat. Am I crazy? I might be crazy. Alright, so next up is a Syandana that I totally think it could be within the next Unvaulting. It feels like it's right around that period, and I actually really do like this one. This isn't just me saying, oh, well, I'm going to include this because I think that it's in the next one, but I like it if you're looking for this kind of Syandana. It is the Yamako Prime, and I've actually mentioned it in my Oberon one. I really like the circular details on it. I'm not really much for like a double dangle down kind of thing. I really just would prefer like one solid piece, but I don't feel like this is absolutely insanely obtrusive. I'm a big fan of this piece right back here. I absolutely love, like, legitimately, I feel like it's a story of my life where I'm like, DE, if you just made this and like made some cool pieces that surrounded this, it, like maybe like brought this piece up and just attached it down at the bottom of that, it would have been a damn good looking Syandana. Not saying that it's not good looking now, but you know, right up my alley, like the kind of closer to the back, nice tight Syandanas are a little bit more my taste. However, for those of you guys who do like the double dangle down Syandanas, this is definitely one to take a look at. I do like the energy workings up top. I do like the discs down at the bottom. I like the energy of that. I think it looks absolutely cool, and this is definitely something that you might be seeing sometime soon. Alright, so moving on from the Syandanas, let's go ahead and jump into armor sets. And I'm going to start off with the Targus, mainly because of the fact that it was the one that was most recently unvaulted, so you're probably not going to see this one anytime soon. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you some reasons to feel okay about not having got it, or maybe you missed it. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm gonna give you some reasons why it's alright, probably, maybe. You probably still want it, but let's be real. So with this armor set, I think it's really nice on simpler frames. The priming, the color priming on it is great on something that doesn't already have metallics on it. However, one of the things that I do have to say is as we kind of like go further down the rabbit hole with primes, we're finding that a lot of the primes are now more textured, have more patterning on them. There's a little bit more going on with all of the primes as opposed to the old primes. The old primes are really simplistic, and they needed extra touches of gold, and that's where the Targus fit in perfectly. However, as we can see here with the Kaduto skin on Excalibur, it's a little bit much. There's a lot of it going on now, like I was showing you with the Capella Prime Syandana. One of the things that you can do with it is you can block it out. You know, you can block out certain aspects of it so that it doesn't look so busy. But I definitely feel like you lose some of the spirit of the frame when you do that, or the spirit of the armor. You know, everybody is like, Rob, you always talk about the spirit of everything. But yeah, I don't want to kind of like shit on this armor set because it is gorgeous, but not necessarily on busier frames. And I'll actually go ahead and show you that real quick. But let me show you this. So one of the cool things that you can do with the Syandana is when you're channeling, it actually emits like these little particles from the little jet stream things. And you'll see that right now. Like that. But it does that like the whole time you're channeling, so it is pretty cool. But we're gonna jump into Excalibur Prime. Now, here's the thing. I think it looks absolutely fantastic on him. He's not too over the top. His patterning is very simple. There's not very much going on with him. And I actually really also like this on the original Mag Prime. I thought it fit her absolutely perfectly. It was great on her frame. And it added some nice detail to a Prime that necessarily didn't have all that much priming on her. However, here is my one big irritation with this, just to make you guys feel better if you didn't pick it up. So the secondary color is actually a different color than I had to use. So I carried over the color set from the original, but the color set from the original made it look way too bright. So if we look right here, you'll notice that we're using one of my most commonly used colors in the Nintendo palette, right? But when we take a look at the actual attachments right here, I have to use that one from the classic saturated palette, and that's because if I show you how it looks with the normal one, with the normal Tenno color, so this is the normal Tenno color I use, it looks way brighter. It's because the textures are not the same as what's on the Prime, or what's even on other skin sets. So that's going to be one of the things that's a little bit harder to work with the Syandanas, so you know, maybe that makes you feel a little bit better about not being able to pick it up when you're able to pick it up. I think the next armor piece is going to be the one that you really need to make sure you snatch up if you haven't already snatched. Alright, so this next armor set is by far my hands down favorite armor set of, I want to say, all armor sets. I had to think about it for a second, but this is like my top tier favorite of all armor sets. As you guys know, when you're channeling with this one, electricity kind of like channels on the walls and stuff like that. It looks super, super epic, and it is a rare day that this does not work on a frame. Like literally, you've seen this on my Saren, you've seen this on my Loki, you've seen this all over the flippin' place, and it is easily one of the most gorgeous ones to use. And here's a cool thing too, one of the things that was a little bit rough about it is that you did need to use specific colors in specific areas to make it work. There were just some weird things that happened with certain Syandanas, but now because of the fact that Syandanas and attachments are on two different channels, you're totally safe and fine. So I'm a big fan of the Edo Prime. Make sure if you see it, I know there are some people that are protesting deep in their heart and they're like, nah, DE, you gotta make it all separate, and I'm not gonna buy this, I'm gonna speak with my wallet instead of my mouth. This is one of those times where I would just be happy it's available. I mean, yeah, the Misa Prime, the Pyre Prime, I will sit there with you and be like, you don't need those Syandanas. Those Syandanas aren't necessary. We got Tennogen. It's amazing. You can buy them piece by piece by piece. But this is one of those, the Edo Prime armor set is just like, just, if you don't have it, just take it how you can get it. Like, I mean, if you want to protest all day and all night, that's fine. But on the very last day before this thing, leaves your life for the next vaulting, pick that shit up on the sly. I'm just putting it out in their universe. Protest all you like, but this is, if this comes out with Rhino Prime, just get the whole thing. Just get the whole, let me actually go ahead and change his helmet, because this is actually one of the things that I was considering doing today. Maybe I shouldn't change the helmet, because it looked better without that helmet. But legitimately, like, whew, Edo Prime, Edo Prime, Edo Prime, Edo Prime. Right? It just works. I don't understand. It just goes so well on so many things. I am speechless. I'm speechless. That's what it is. Just look and let me witness. Witness me! Okay, so this next armor set came out with Necros, and I have this weird, I don't know, just let me know if this is a weird feeling for you, because this is a weird feeling for me too, but the Acanthus Prime stuff, I want to say that I really like it because I love the silhouette that it gives. I love the cool spikiness that kind of like works in with it. But I like it the most on Warframes that are hovering. Is that strange? Is that weird for me? Like, I really like it in like the hovering states. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're getting closer to Jesus and his crown of thorns or something. But like, there's a part of me that is like, I don't know. It goes really well on frames that are like hovering. I don't know what it is, and I actually need to share this with you as well, because this is one of the things that I had been playing around with, and I was like, holy sweet mother of balls. Let's just say that it looks absolutely amazing on fucking Mother of Dragons Ember. Like, on the, I think it's the Majesty skin by Cheshire and Procedicin. Like, I was like, oh my fucking god, it looks so good. It just fits so well. And here's the other thing that I'm going to point out too, because I've been doing my research on this stuff. I've been doing my research and I've been playing around. But Procedicin, specifically Cheshire, depending on which items they have. Like if you have like the cheetah helmets, that one looks really, really well with this. But I actually wanted to go ahead and take a look at what this looked like on the Integra skin. And I almost feel like this works really, really well on the Saren Integra skin as well, mainly because of the fact that it really fits with Procedicin's aesthetic. So if you see this armor set available at any point in time, definitely one of the things that I think that you should pick up, especially if you are a fan of Pro Citizen skins and select Cheshire skins, like the pointy Tenogen artists, as I like to refer to them. They're very pointy, and I feel like it fits. It just happens to fit, and it looks absolutely badass. And this is one of the first times that I tried it on a frame that I don't deem should be flying. Alright, so this last grouping I'm gonna blitz through real fast, mainly because of the fact that, how do I put this? They're Sugatras, and nobody really cares about Sugatras, but just in case, if you do care about the Sugatras, the ones that I'm gonna recommend you keep an eye out for. Alright, now I have some favorites. These are not my, the first two I'm starting with are not my favorites, but I like them for what they are. Listen, just hear me out. So the Kazeru Prime Sugatra works really well. It matches with the Edo Prime's armor set. So if you see the Edo Prime armor set and they make this available, that's fucking awesome because it's got little electric beads on it. You see the little electricity jingles right there, and it is chain. And as you guys know, I think DE does chain really well. I'm like, anything that is like chain, you guys knock out of the park when it comes to physics, but when it comes to like cloth, not so much. This next one is really weird, but I like this one as well. It's the Naviga Prime Sugatra. It's a cool ribbon. It's got some actual like energy effects that scroll down it, which was akin to Trinity's helmet. I think it looks really cool. It's nice and subtle. It works with certain Prime frames because it's got that little circular disc on there. However, and yes, I'm looking down at my notes because I had to make notes on all of those kind of things. Those are my two favorites. Now, if I had a wish list, I need to put this out into the universe. DE, please, if you could, do a PBR pass on the Vala Sugatra Prime. It's this cool wing one. It's got really cool physics because this part of the wing, is actually attached on stiff, which is fine. Then it's got a cool glowy ball in the middle. And then it's got this wing part at the end. And I think it dangles really well. However, the gold on it is untintable. And it hurts my soul. I love it. Then, of course, my #1 favorite Sugatra of all time from the Prime accessories is the Damen Sugatra Prime. But it's metallic. It's not PBR'd. It's not. But look at how gorgeous that is. That would have looked so good. I was rooting for you. And look, the gold piece is just not, but I think it was absolutely beautiful. It went with the Misa Prime Syandana. I don't know if the Sugatras are ever going to come back in kind of like one of those sets. Mainly because they haven't come back in previous sets, so I wouldn't see why they would come back now. But if they are, those are the ones definitely to look out. Alright, so the last two are definitely a little bit strange, but I did want to mention them because I stand behind them as I did back then, but I'm really a big fan of the Satya Prime Operator suit. Now, when this was released, I heard so many people bitch and moan about it, but looking at it now, I'm like, man, I am fucking glad I have this. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Not that the other suits are not cute, because you guys know I really like the Manduka suit, the one with the bear paws and like the big hood. I really like that one a lot too, but this one is just like, there's just something really badass looking about it, especially when you have the head part on. I'm like, oh my god, you look like, I don't know, some weird, it just looks like some weird Cyclops, but I kind of absolutely love it. So, I don't know, I thought that was very much money well spent. If you like the look of that suit, definitely make sure to pick it up whenever you see it unvaulted. Alright, and last but definitely not least is what everybody referred to as the Loading Screen Prime. However, guess fucking what? I got a lot more use out of this than I did the Noru Prime Syandana. This is still up there between every single mission. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I'm not saying that the other models of the other ships are not gorgeous as well. However, I still stand behind my purchase on this one. I think it looks absolutely... Do I want to say the best? Hold on, we're gonna look through this real fast. And I'm gonna decide if it's the best. I like it better than Scimitar. The Xiphos is pretty cool, but it's not my favorite. The Mantis is Wait, is this just a skin? I think it's just a skin. I can actually... Yeah, I think... Wait, hold on. Now I'm curious because I completely forgot the set Prime skin. It's a Prime skin. So there you go. So there, I completely forgot how that worked because I absolutely loved it. But I think it looks I think it looks better. I think I can say it right now. I had that moment. I re-looked at everything and I stand behind it. I think that it is the best looking ship that we currently have out there. I don't really use the, you know what? Maybe I should. Listen, I go through all of those damn ciphers so quickly that maybe I should be using the Lisette's air support ability. Plus, you get to hear Orda say some fun things. But that about does it for my review of the favorite stuff. Now, of course, if I did not mention it, you guys know I did not forget it. I just don't necessarily feel as strongly about it. Like, let's say, I love me my companions, but I didn't really say anything about the Kubro armor now, did I? Just putting that out there into the universe. All I'm saying is these are my favorites of the favorites. The armor sets was pretty easy to do, mainly because there was only 3. And I showed you the Syandanas to definitely pay attention to, and also the Sugatras that if they ever come out, which I don't think they ever will again, but if they do, keep an eye out for some of those ones, because if they PBR a couple of them, they're going to look really, really good. So that about does it for me. And also let me know, because I put this out on Twitter, that I would also do a favorite Syandanas across all fields, whether it's in-game, whether it's Tenogen, or whether it's Primes. I guess you guys kind of know my Primes now, but there's also going to be a Syandana video because a lot of people voted on that. Let me know if there's any other content that you guys are curious to see from me, and I will chat with you guys again soon. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.